This is episode number 82 of Real Occult, where we apply numerology and astrology to the material world. Today, we are talking about how we are all, every single one of us, children of the universe. And if you're a parent, you understand, you want what's best for your kids. Even if you have to give them a little bit of tough love, even if you have to deny them the thing they really, really want in the moment, long term, you absolutely want what's best for your kids. Most of us, if you're a decent parent, if you're a pretty good parent. And so in my online free community, we have a client, and they are a 9 life path. So in numerology, their life path is 9 energy. They are born on the 19th. And so their entire chart, everything about their life, all of their natural energy has this 1 and 9. 1-9, new beginnings, conclusions, new beginnings, endings. Start something, it finishes. And so they're going through some life changes, some life transformations, and losing a few friends. Digging in, like I said, digging into their chart, looking at all their stuff, figuring out, which is the hardest part for most people, figuring out what it is they're actually trying to achieve, what it is they're actually working towards, what do we actually want to have happen that's not happening, what's happening that we actually want to stop. And so explaining to them, walking them through the process of being a 9 life path. You fill in the stop gaps, you fill in wherever you're needed. 9, completion. You complete whatever thing it is you are coming in contact with. That is your role for society. You are a 9. You're a completer. You're a fill in the gap person. That's the role you play for society as a whole. They're born in 1995, so they're born in a 6 universal year. How they go about doing that is through that 6 energy, and the way they show up is in that 1-9. Born on the 19th. And so 19th, start, new beginning, 9, conclusion. So I explained this to them, you are in the back half of the energetic spectrum. You are the stopgap. You're the last person to come in. You do that through that 6 energy, that family, community style, selfless service, duty. And the way you fulfill that role is through the 1-9 energy. You do it for short periods of time for lots and lots of people. And so the gifts, and this is where we get into we're all children of the universe. Every single thing comes with trade-offs. Every single thing has positives and negatives. And so just like a parent with their child, and if you weren't aware, this school year, I've been running a 150 plus family before school, after school care program. And so we have 30 to 40 kids running around the facility in the morning. We'll have 80 plus kids running around the facility in the afternoon. So I've been working with a ton of parents, working with a ton of kids all school year. And across all different grade levels, kindergarten, first grade, second grade, fifth graders, across the whole spectrum. And it's so interesting, these young kids, how unfiltered and raw their energetic signature is. And it's a beautiful thing. And talking to these parents, we have some parents, 5th grader, and the parents are older, they're in their 50s. We have parents in their 20s with a 2nd grade. Like, we have everything across the 150 families. We have a magnificent bell curve distribution of every single type of household environment you can imagine. And we have families on government assistance where they're getting governments subsidizing their payments for the program. We like literally everything across the board. I've got everything across the board for this thing I've been running for the last year or for this school year. And it always reminds me, one day we just opened our eyes and started remembering things. And then we started remembering more things. And then we started having expectations of what might happen the next day. And then our expectations are either met or not met because we remembered having the expectations. And then bam, fast forward, now you're in like third grade and you're remembering all of it in the moment, and then you're forgetting it a couple weeks later. And then bam, fifth grade. Now you're in middle school. Now you're in high school. Now we're in college. Boom, now we're out of college. Now we're working our job, and now we're going through all this, and then bam, life's past 3 decades. And so we're all going through the same experience. We just opened our eyes one day, started remembering things, and bam, here we are. When it comes to gathering self-awareness, people have all kinds of different ways they like to go about doing it. They have the INTPs, EF, whatever those personality tests are. You have the psychological evaluations. I love numerology and astrology because of the household environment I grew up in. Religion was not pushed on us. Religion was open sourced. So with my parents, I could dig into the Bible, I could dig into the Quran, I could dig into Taoist readings, I could dig into Hindu readings, and there was no judgment. There was no letting the dogma of the religion get in the way of the information. Both my parents are spiritual seekers, and if there's good information to be had there, go find it, go use it, see how you can apply it to yourself. It's kind of the environment I grew up in. And so I love numerology and astrology, Western, Vedic, Chinese astrology. I love Chaldean, Pythagorean, numerology. I love to combine all of them into this multi-layered system that I use to really dig into these people's charts. Because if you have something present in one layer, now we're kind of getting off on a little bit of a tangent, and I apologize, but if you have one layer of occult study, right, we'll just say in your Vedic astrology chart, this thing is active during this particular transit. But then you go and you look in your Chinese astrology and it says, that it really doesn't say that. It kind of says something a little bit different. And then you dig into your baseline, life path, day energy, year born, and you're it kind of fits, but it's not really that strong. And then you start digging into the personal years, personal months, personal days, and you were like, this doesn't really apply. I don't like to put a lot of weight in that one layered insight. On the other hand, if you look at something in your Vedic chart and you say, oh man, okay, that's showing up real strong. That's showing up across 2 or 3 different aspects of this Vedic chart. And then you look at the Chinese astrology and you say, wow, that's even stronger here. And then you look into the numerology and say, okay, that's very aligned within your natural role from that foundational layer of karma with your numerology. And then you look into the personal months, personal days, personal years, and it's like, oh wow, this karmic ring is hitting you right now. You can put, in my opinion, tons of weight behind that critical insight because it's connected across 2, 3, 4 different layers of these non-related occult studies. So if all of these people from all of these different versions of this information are all saying the same thing or roughly giving the same energetic insight, it's probably true. But if you're just checking it off of one layer of study, you can receive misguided information with a misguided interpretation that might not hold that true for you. Little tangent. but give you a little bit of insight into the way I do things. And so digging into this client's chart, and they have that 19 energy, they have that 9 life path energy in that 6 universal year, that role they're fulfilling. And so we were walking through, because like I said, they're going through these intense life changes, creating this deep personal transformation. And they're shedding some friends. And they're upset, how come this always happens? And they're trying to resist that, trying to keep people around who may not be the best people to be around. They're trying to just force people into the circle because they don't want to be alone, all of this type of stuff. And I've had to explain to them and walk them through this cycle that they are naturally on of there's give and takes to everything. With that 19 energy, when things are amazing, it's going to be short-lived. That's the downside. The upside, when things are horrible, they're going to be short-lived. It's going to start, you're going to have the middle spot, it's going to end. And for that 19 energy, that happens quick. You're constantly turning over. So you're going to get a new person in your life, a new coworker in your life, and bam, instantly you're going to become best friends. It's going to be like you were born in the same environment and you just naturally connected so unbelievably well. How are you not going to be friends forever? But given their foundational karma, given their birth chart, given the current transits they're going through, it's guaranteed this friendship's not lasting your lifetime. Because that's not the role you were fulfilling for that other person. That's not the role that other person's fulfilling for you. This is what we're walking through, over the course of a couple of sessions. And with a couple of different people so that they can really start to understand that this is the energetic role they're playing for others and how other people help them fulfill that role. And it's like, okay, you're here to help this person do this thing. And once you finish doing that, that 9 energy's coming. It's over. It's gone. You're moving on. They're moving on. And that's a good thing. It's supposed to. You both got what you needed out of that relationship. That karmically divine connection was fulfilled. You fulfilled your role. So now let them move on accordingly. And so a recent one is they met, old school friend. They had this friendship in high school, blossomed, was fantastic, disconnected, and here they are 10 years later reconnecting. It's like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And I was showing her. But then things got rocky and then they haven't talked in a while. And she's like, well, I just feel like something's unfinished there. There's unfinished. And it's like, no, that's that 1-9 energy. You had that short, intense relationship in high school, that awesome friendship that then you left the town and it faded away naturally. That's supposed to. And then bam, here you guys reconvene 10 years later. You're going to run it back. Same type of deal. Super, super close for a bunch of months. And then other person got fired and they're moving away to go find. It's like it's supposed to happen with that 19 energy, and you're that stopgap for them. So when that other person's going through their transition, you were able to fill that 9-6 role for them, that community, that 6 energy from that year being born, 1995. You were able to fulfill that 6 role for them with your 9 energy, or the stopgap, and you did it through that 19 birth energy, that 1-9. You did it. You started it, you ended it, and keeping it moving. And so those are the positives and negatives that just come with your set of energy, with your set of numbers, that 19. You're going to start something, it's going to come to an end. You're going to start something, it's going to come to an end. And when it starts something and it doesn't really work out, no problem. Don't worry about it. It's coming to an end real quick. When you do start something and it's amazing and you just want to live in it forever and you just want to hang on to it so tight you want to grab it and refuse to ever let it go, you got to be grateful for it in the moment, because that thing's coming to an end real quick. And so there's positives and negatives to every single one of these trade-offs. But with that said, long-term, big picture, we are all children of the universe, and the universe, Saturn, the planets, all of them, whatever terminology you want to use for the guiding forces behind all of these Newton's third law, input, output reactions. For every action, equal and opposite reaction. For every input we give the universe, there's an equal and opposite output given to us based on our karmic baggage, so to speak. The universe wants us to win. We're all children of the universe. We're all here fulfilling the role we're meant to fulfill for others. The only question is, how well are we fulfilling that role? Are we leaning into our advantages? Or are we just trying to fight it and resist? So with this client here, that 19 energy, it's like you can't fight that. You cannot fight it. The more you resist it, the harder those lessons are going to be to get through. The more you go with the flow, the more you lean into that natural energy, the more positive reinforcement the universe is going to start giving you. For every input, there's an equal and opposite output based on our karmic baggage. What karmic spread do we have? So for example, if you want 100 units of output, some people have to give 200 units of input. They got to do double the work because they got a lot of karmic baggage. They're going to have to learn a lot of lessons to catch up. Other people, they want 100 units of output, they got to put in 120 inputs because they don't have that much baggage. They don't have that many lessons to work through in order to get the things that they want. We're all different. And that's okay because it's supposed to, because we're all here fulfilling the role we're meant to. And so when we actually begin to accept this, and this is something that I've dealt with personally my whole life because I'm colorblind. And ever since I was real little, I'm talking kindergarten, first grade, all I wanted to be was a military pilot. I wanted to fly jets for the military. Well, when you're colorblind, you cannot fly jets for the military because everything's color-coded. And I refused to acknowledge the fact that I was colorblind when I was in first grade, second grade, doing all the testing. So much to the point that I started figuring out how to guess the numbers. So I was failing the tests, but barely. And then a couple times I would pass them by just one number because I guessed the right number within the color-coded thing. And I was trying to game the system. It's not until third, fourth grade that I kind of vaguely accept the fact that, okay, well, I'm getting this wrong on my homework and wrong on my assignments because I'm using the wrong color because I can't tell the difference between these two colors. Maybe I am colorblind. But I still, until I was pretty much in middle school, probably realistically, until I was like in middle of high school, leaving high school, did I fully acknowledge and fully accept the fact that I am colorblind, so I will not be flying jets for the military. And I had to swallow that pill. Then fast forward into adult life, and it's like I'm resisting my baseline karmic energy. I'm trying to force it. And the second you acknowledge it, the second you lean into it and say, okay, you know what? Maybe I'm not a one life path born on the first in a one universal year. And maybe I'm not just this massive, independent pioneer. So let me get into a little bit of a network here and start using my skills and see how the universe opens up. And bam, sure enough, what do you know? You lean into your energy, the universe gives you positive reinforcement because that's what we are supposed to be doing. That's the role we're supposed to fill. And so how much energy do we want to allow to flow through us while we are fulfilling that role? And that's how you stack up and you start accumulating more responsibility, is by allowing more energy to flow through you in the role you're fulfilling. And so if you got the 1-9 energy, if you got the whatever energy it is that you do have, lean into that puppy. Do not resist it. I beg you, please. Save the time. Let me tell you, because of all of the pain and hardship from resisting my numbers and my clients. I've had so many clients. It's probably one of the top 3 biggest things that I'm constantly working with some of my clients is not resisting your natural energy. If you born on the 9th and a 9 universal year and you're a 9 life path, you're at the end of the energetic cycle, my friend. You are the stopgap. You do fill in the gaps. Lean into it. Don't try to go first. Don't try to be the pioneer getting everything going off the ground. That's not you, man. That is not you. You are going to do nothing but inflict more emotional, physical pain, hardship, and challenge on yourself if you resist your energy like that. I've seen it firsthand. I've done it myself. I've seen it play out with so many of my clients. Friends and family members too, when I was doing this, when I was younger, growing up and stuff, and not doing it as professionally for other people. And so, long story short, where are we at here? Holy moly, this thing's 20 minutes, so I want to wrap it up. The whole point is we are all children of the universe. The universe genuinely wants what's best for us. It wants us to succeed. The universe wants us to win. All we have to do is fulfill the role we're meant to fulfill. Lean into our natural, God-given, universally blessed energy. We are born with this energetic makeup for a reason. We're supposed to be exactly where we are. When we lean into it and allow things to unfold how they're supposed to, the positive feedback loops that we create, the positive emotional, physical experiences we get to have, makes life so amazing and so worth living. It truly does. I want nothing more than for you to feel that level of crystal clear clarity and divine confidence that you are exactly where you're supposed to be. You're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. And the universe is responding in kind, giving you all of the experiences and things that you want. We're all children of the universe. The universe wants us to win. I also want you to win. If you have any questions, you can check out my free school community, skool.com/real occult. It's completely free. I'm working with people all day long, especially if you're going through an intense life change or a deep personal transformation. Completely free. We'll hop on a couple of video chats, dig through your chart, dig through the different layers of karma. What type of karmic patterns did you inherit? What's unfolding right now? How do you move forward accordingly? How do you best move forward based on your birth chart, based on those natural energies? Just throwing it out there if you would like me to help you walk through these different things for you specifically and your natural energy. That's skool.com/real occult. I hope you gotten something out of this. I hope you do start to accept that the universe truly does want you to win. The universe wants you to win. It's so important. Like, the universe is on your side. I promise you, no matter how hard, challenging, helpless things could feel, especially if you're going through one of these intense changes or deep personal transformations, how hopeless and just lost, anxious, confusing everything can be, the universe is on your side. It wants you to win. It's just trying to guide you and mold you into the energetic being you're supposed to be. If you have any questions, like I said, check out our free school community, and I will talk to you again soon.